Hi, my name is Rachel. I am a knitter and crocheter from southeastern Michigan, and this is going to be my very first ever knitting podcast episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my single finished object, my goal for the end of the year, so midnight on New Year's Eve, and I am going to take you through all of my whips. Well, not all of them, because I have a large pile of them upstairs that have been semi-abandoned. And then I'm going to take you through some goals for the beginning of next year for January. Alright, so I'm going to start this off with my goal. Today is December 28th, it's about 1 in the afternoon, and my goal for the December the 31st at 11:59 p.m. is to have this finished. Now this is a whip that is for my husband. I started it last year. It was supposed to be his Christmas gift last year. I started it in around September, and then I got way too cocky and self-assured for myself, and so this is what I'm going to be working on today, and I'm going to be putting my yarn on my Yarn Genie. If you haven't seen these before, it's amazing. My favorite thing to use when I'm sitting at home knitting. So if you see me leaning forward, I have a little row counter that I'm going to be using because I'm on the decreases, and so I'm just going to be switching rows. And if you haven't heard of this app, it's called Row Counter, and it is absolutely amazing. But before I tell you all about the rest of this pattern and what pattern it is and everything, I'm going to show you my one single finished object. Now this is a gift knit. It is a baby knit, and it is for my husband's cousin, so kind of my cousin-in-law. His wife, who is one of my very best friends, is they're expecting a baby. And so this is the Rigmore's summer blouse, and it is in the size 0 to 3 months, or sorry, 3 to 6 months. That is the smallest size that this pattern offers, and it is made out of the Sirdar Snuggly Cotton, and it is so cute. This color, I love it. It is shade 756. Doesn't have a shade name. It kind of matches my hair. So yes, this is my single finished object, and now we shall get into my works in progress. Now this sweater for my husband is the men's pattern stitch pullover by Novita Knits. It's a free pattern. When I was looking at patterns, I was a little bit confused, and I thought raglan meant that it was top down in the round. Obviously that's not true. I have now worked a couple of raglan projects that are not, well, the Rigmore summer blouse, which is by Petite Knit, is in the round raglan, but you start it from the bottom up, so it's a little bit different. And then this is in Cascade 220. I don't know the shade name, and I do not have a ball band handy, but it's this deep foresty green color, and it's so cute and so soft, and I cannot wait for it to finally be finished. So let's move on to another work in progress. We will go down my list. Oh gosh, I forgot to grab one. So I have another one. I will insert a photo here. It is another baby knit. It is a size 0 to 3 month, and the pattern is called the Good Old Raglan. It is a free pattern, but I did not write down the designer. I am nearly done with it. I have the second sleeve to do, and that's it. So it is in the Bernat baby cotton, because their baby is going to be a little spring baby, so I wanted to make something long sleeved that would still be warm when they needed it to be, cool when they wanted it. So we've adjusted some things and I took a little bit of a break. My husband got home and came clomping in, so a little bit of an interruption, and then I decided I needed a snack and had to catch up on a couple of work from home things. And while I was doing that, I kneeled down on my interchangeable needle and snapped it right off. This is my second one that I've done this to. Not the same size, but just second one in general that I have done this to, which is very, very annoying. And so now I'm going to be switching it onto just this little fixed 16-inch needle. And we are going to be moving right along. So that little sweater, the Good Old Raglan, it is a it's a cute little green. Like I said, I'll put up a photo for you so that you can see it. It's a cute little pastel-y green color, and that is about it. Like I said, I just have the second sleeve to do, and we're gonna move on to the next pattern. So this one is the last of the baby knits that I've got to share. This is the Anna's Summer Cardigan. It is adorable. I'm making it to match the Rigmer Summer blouse. And so it's just this adorable little lacy pattern, and it's so cute and darling. And I've got these I'll put a photo of the buttons I have. They're just these little teeny flowers is what I had my friend pick them out which buttons I was going to be using. So they're these little teeny flowers that kind of have like a mother of pearly sheen to them, and they are so adorable. And this is again by a pattern by Petite Knit. I bought them both, and I'm making both of them in that Serdar Snuggly cotton as like a little matching set. So they're the little lacy t-shirt that I showed first, and the little cardigan will be a teeny tiny matching set. And that is about all I've got to say about that one. It's such a delight to work on. I love the little lace pattern that is in it, and if you are looking for a baby knit for a little girl or a little boy, I would definitely recommend trying that one out. And yeah, so moving on to the next one, I have this one. It is the Sporty Knit Skort by Handmade by Florence. I did a few extra short rows on it just because I felt like it wasn't enough. This is either size E or F. I cannot completely remember, and I really don't feel like counting 400 stitches to see exactly how many I have to try and figure out what size this is. Now this one, it is recommended to do like a strand of something and a mohair together, I believe, for the pattern. I'm not doing that. I am just using a single strand of this, which is a Superwash DK yarn. I'm not even going to attempt to say that brand name because I will slaughter it. And this is color 192. I bought it off Lovecrafts, I believe, and I cannot remember exactly how much it cost me, as I bought this a while ago, and it is made on, I believe, 3.75 or 3.5 millimeter needles. So this has been on the needles for a long while. I believe since the pattern was released. I bought the pattern and the yarn like the day the pattern was released, and I've been working on it ever since, and that pattern has been out for over a year now. I believe it came out last October. Now it's Delight to work on. That is the pattern that I took with me to the Eras Tour movie, and I was working on it in the theater while watching the Eras Tour movie. So next up we have the very beginning of the 9 p.m. tank. And this is by Tiff Knit. And this yarn is Emma's yarn. It is hand dyed. This is from May. Their May dye lot. It is the Super Silky. So it is, I believe, 80% Superwash Merino and 20% silk. And it's just this beautiful little fingering yarn. And it has blues and a little green speckles and hot pinks and a little bit of purple. And I adored it, and I was like, I'm calling it Barbie yarn. I think they have something that is like, it's not quite called Barbie, but it's similar, and I have no clue what this color name is called. I could not tell you. It doesn't say it on here. But I was up with my husband, and we went by this boutique that also sells yarn, and I went in there, and I had been in there a couple of times looking at it, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy like 2 skeins of this and I will make a pattern. Now this is, I don't have a size because it is a made to measure. So the designer has a calculator on her website that you use to calculate your number of stitches and everything, because it is a made to fit pattern. And so yeah, I like how it is so far. This has been one of the ones that has been kind of abandoned and set to the side. It is so cute though, and I cannot wait to work on it some more, although it does intimidate me just a little bit. And these ones are on my Ligue Cypres, the copper needles in a 3.25. Wonderful. Yes. So simple pattern. It's not simple at all, actually. A little imitating. The construction and everything is so interesting. And now for my next one. This is the Honey Cardigan, and it is by Kuta Vakika. She's here on YouTube, and it is from her book. I cannot tell which side is the front. I think I might be allergic to this yarn. It's a real, excuse me, oh my god. It's a real problem. I really think I might be allergic to it. That, or it's just the cat hair has gotten into it, and when I picked it up, it just wafted me in the nose. I think, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I think this is the right side. I have no idea, and that's a problem because it's at Fisherman's Rib. So if I'm not sure, that makes it a little bit of a problem for me. So it is this beautiful cardigan that is in half fisherman's rib, and this is in Drops Melody, which is their Surrey alpaca, their brushed Surrey alpaca, and it's in this gorgeous little pink color. I do not have the color name. I really wish I could have picked this out in person because I do unfortunately think that I want to be able to wear like a pastel pink so bad. It washes me out, I believe. I'll wear it anyway. It's fine. I wear colors that are not my colors all the time. It's absolutely fine. We're gonna just go with it and wear it anyway. And my needle is coming off and it's going to snag this beautiful yarn. So wonderful, wonderful. I've made several of her patterns from her book already. Well, actually no, I've just made 3 of the lighthouse hats and 2 of them I haven't even finished. One of them I did finish. It took me about 30 hours. If you do not use the Row Counter app, I'll put a link to it in the description. It's the best thing ever because you can, there's like social functions and all of this stuff, but that's what I use to keep track of all of my knits because I'm like, I need something to keep track of it. So if you see me reaching forward, that's what I'm doing on I've got it up on my iPad because I'm using my phone to record this. And I believe I've got one more whip that I have down here that I'm gonna show you. And that is another pattern by Kudovakika / Veronica Lindberg, also from her book, and that is the Stay Up Till Dawn sweater. I'm working on the raglan increases of it still, and this is just like a simple chunky raglan. It's so gorgeous. I love this color. This is going to be such a good color on me. And it's like kind of this smoky blue-gray, and it is in Drops Wish in this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous color. I love it so much. And it's a delight to work on. And it has this cute thick raglan increase stitch, and it is so soft and so cozy to work with. And that concludes my final work in progress. I only got like 2 rows done on this. Yeah. So we will move on to talking about my goals for next month, since we're at the end of the month here. And this, I've got them written down in my little notebook I'm going to be starting to use as like a knitting journal and a knitting goals journal kind of thing. And that way I will have notes for future podcast episodes. This is just a little notebook that I got for Christmas, and it's got cats on it. I have 4 cats. So everyone thinks I love cats, and I do. I do love cats. Don't get me wrong. I love cat mugs. I have so many of those. And I do love cats because I have so many of them running around here that drive me absolutely nuts. So my goal for January, my goals for January is to finish both of the work in progress baby knits that I've got. So the Good Old Raglan and the Anna's Summer Cardigan. That is going to be goal number 1 for me, is to get those finished because baby shower's in March, so that does give me a little bit of time, but just to have them off of my plate because they will be the fastest things to get done because they are so little itty bitty. And I have about half the body and both sleeves on the cardigan and just the one last sleeve on the sweater. So that is going to be my goal for that, and finish at least 1 personal work in progress. Now, this is terrible. This and one other cardigan that I will put in a picture that I still have to go back and fix Actually, that's a lie. I have one other sweater. So there's also a sweater. It was like a We Are Knitters kit that I purchased, and it was like the first garment that I made, and then this was the second garment that I made. Those are the only things that I have ever really knit for myself. I have a scarf that was the first item I made ever when I decided that I wanted to learn to knit. So I've been crocheting for a long time. I've made like blankets and those types of things. I attempted to make myself a crochet cardigan and like abandoned it, and I frogged it, and that is what I used to make the one cardigan that I have knit for myself. And then I've made clothes for so many other people. Last year I made all of my cousins like little tops and things. I've knit my husband and my dad a blanket. This Christmas I made 3 blankets for my mom and both of my brothers. And I made those in Woolies Wow, which is their jumbo woolies. They had it at Joann's. I think they are not selling it at Joann's, but you can still buy it online. And I just ordered some more to make my brother's girlfriend her own blanket for her birthday, which is in March. So that's the one exception to my third goal, which is going to be, I'm not going to buy any more yarns or patterns, and I'm not going to cast on any new whips this next month. I'm going to that was a weird thing that came out of my mouth. I'm going to focus on what is already on my needles and my hooks, and I'm going to try and get those cleared off and maybe go to my whip graveyard and pull a few things out to pick back up and finish, because that would be wonderful to get some of those out of my life and off of my needles and off of the back of my mind, where they just kind of niggle around in there a little bit and bother me every once in a while. So those are my goals for January. And yeah, it's a little bit lofty. I'm hoping to surpass some of these goals. Obviously, like the baby knit one, that's what it is. That's the only 2 baby knits that I've got left to make, and I will not be making anything else for them at this time. I do plan on, at some point, probably like June or July, I'm going to cast on a little Christmas sweater, winter sweater for their baby, so it'll be in a larger size. But I'm gonna wait for that and give it to them just as a just because gift for when the baby is here. So yes. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? I already mentioned this. This is one of my favorite little gadgets of all time, and it's the Yarn Genie, I want to say, is the name of it. And that is what I use for at home, just relaxing. And this is my second favorite knitting item ever. Honestly, it's probably my first, but don't let the Yarn Genie hear me say that. This is a mini minder from Lemonwood Love, and it is so stinking adorable, and I love it so much. And I take it to the gym with me because I knit on the treadmill, because if I don't knit on the treadmill and I try to just listen to music, I remember the fact that I'm doing cardio and that I want to not be doing that. So that is just something a little weird that I do. I wish more people did it and it would make me feel more normal, because I've tried to like read or something and I still am like, I hate it. If I'm listening to an audiobook and not music, it makes it a little more bearable, but like personally, can't do it. It's not happening. So we just knit or crochet on the treadmill and pretend that nobody is giving me weird looks. Most people ignore me, but there are the occasional, you know, high schoolers at Planet Fitness that are gonna give you a little bit of a side eye. Alright, well, I think I am going to about wrap it up for today, so I will see you maybe next week, maybe the week after. I'm going to have to decide if this is going to be an every week or a 2-week type of thing. And that is all I've got for today. Have a great rest of your week and a lovely and happy new year. Go out there, go to some parties, go see your friends or family. I think I'm just staying in because New Year's Eve is the only day of the year that I go to bed at like 8 o'clock, which is really, really weird. But we're okay with it. It's fine. Bye-bye.